Hello, my name is Mindy, and I am going to talk about today about ENFPs and books reading. So, how is the ENFP's experience with books? Do we like it? Do we hate it? How can we do to improve our reading times? And well, I'm going to talk about a lot of things around the book subjects. Okay. So I came into this subject because I've been reading a lot lately, but I have my times whenever I read a lot, and other times when I am reading, but I don't do it that much. And first of all, I have to say I know that it's a bit hard for me to read. So on the one hand, me as an ENFP, I love books, and I'm always buying books, audiobooks, like physical books, ebooks, name it. Um, we love the idea of the books, but we might not enjoy that much the time that we have to set apart to sit down and actually read a book. So it's hard for us. It requires a lot of our SI introverted sensing for us to do like a sequence of like a thing. It's like a sequence. We have to sit down, grab the book, and do it often and repeat that. So if we want to finish a book of 500 pages and we want to read half an hour, 1 hour every day, so you have to multiply that for many days, and we have to keep the consistency to sit down and do it. So it's not something that we enjoy. So I can see how can that be a struggle for many ENFPs. Me, when I was at primary school, I remember I've always been a person who loves reading, but I would read very short books, like very short, like 50 pages, something like that. And whenever I reached the point of reading bigger books, it was always a struggle. I think the books that I really finished, and even though were big, were the books of Murakami books. Is my favorite writer. So, but I noticed that if I don't have like that passion about the subject or the writer, or if I'm not that invested in general on the book itself, it can take ages and I might not even finish it. And I can have like a lot of the books that I start and then I don't finish. So that can be an issue. So we ENFPs have short spans of attention. And that's the reason why it is hard for us to do this thing of sitting constantly and looking at a book and looking at letters and reading the thing. And again, we love reading. We love the idea of reading. So we want to absorb and imagine and have all of those, like the insights and the learning, the knowledge that we can gain through a book. But the chore of doing it is like, it's tiring. So our short spans of attention just makes it harder for us to enjoy something that maybe an INTJ or even an ISTJ would just enjoy doing just for the sake of doing. So we need to like the book in order to stick to it, basically. And we tend to also read many books at the same time. So that's another struggle that we have. So I think that's because of our extroverted intuition, of course. So we want to, like, once we start a book and we come across another book, then we want to download a book as well and whatever. So one thing I want to encourage you, so kind of, let's see if I can help you through my own experience, is to kind of set for yourself a maximum amount of books that you're going to read. So you honestly have to accept that you cannot read 10 books at the same time, that you will have to like do 2 or maybe 3. If you choose 3 books, that's what I do. I go for 3 different genders. I don't know how to pronounce that word. That's a secret. So different categories. So for instance, I read one book of literature, so sort of a novel, but it's more like short stories. And then I am reading another book that is an audiobook. Actually, I just finished it, guys. that's an audiobook, and it's like self-help, it's a memoir. And then the third book I'm reading is Sapiens. I bet you have heard it. So Sapiens is like a more sociological, philosophical essay. So those are the three books I'm reading. So as you see, the three books are not from the same genre. So it's not that I'm reading three novels. I find that too difficult, and you cannot just do that. It won't help you. So that's one tip that I want to give you. Another tip is to find a format that best suits you. So for instance, for me, audiobooks work best than normal books, but I still grab them because I am committed to improving my SI, my introverted sensing. So I'm still going for the regular books. But notice how do you feel with a big book with small letters? Does that tire you? Then prefer to go for a book with bigger letters and go for smaller books. So try to adjust to whatever works for you. Do not push yourself to do something that doesn't work. For instance, I would never go for a book with very little letters, because it's just too much for me. I even start the book and I look at the rest and I'm like, oh, I can't deal with this. Oh my God, that's a problem for me even to read a Bible. I have a Bible that I got as a present that I never read it, because those little letters, it's like, makes me feel kind of, I need some air kind of. So that's another. And a third advice I'm going to give you is to set up some time whenever you're going to read. Because if you say, I'm going to read just whenever I have free time, it might not work. So for instance, the times that I say, like, I have a time when I read more and that I am like constantly reading, it's because I set a time in the morning. So let's say I say I'm going to wake up at 6:30 in the morning, and by 7 I'm going to be sitting with my book and I'm going to read for an hour until 8. And then I try to continue with my routine. By the way, I'm not good at following any routine, but like I have more or less a rough schedule of what's going to happen. So if I say I'm going to wake up at 6:30 and at 7 I'm going to read, that's the one fixed thing. The rest after that can change. I can have breakfast in that moment, or I can have breakfast at 11 and I can work out right after. I can start working. Like, I can move my day however I want. Actually, this is a good idea for another video about like routines for ENFPs. But anyhow, up until now, I would say schedule a time with yourself. So schedule 45 minutes or 1 hour every morning or every evening after dinner, when you're going to put your phone apart, you're going to put airplane mode, and you're going to just read. If you're with your phone on, like me, I'm not going to do anything. So you need to really set that time apart. Yeah, so that's it. I kind of covered, I think, most of the things I wanted to say. So I hope it can help you. I know that for us ENFPs is so valuable being able to read and to nurture ourselves with new stories, or with, even if it's self-help, like we love having like new insights of information in us. So I think that, yeah, if we managed to read more, it would make our NE happier. And somehow in order to accomplish reading books in any format, we will have to exercise our introvert sensing, which is something that we definitely have to start using slowly, kind of. And I think that's a very nice way to start using introvert sensing, by setting up small routines, how to read, finding your own format. And as I said, choose the books that you're going to read. If you want to read more than one, read up to 3, but choose them wisely so they do not look like each other and you have still space in your mind to connect. But do not do more than 3 books at a time. Okay, that's all. If you have any comments or questions, you can leave them in the comments below. I'm gonna be doing a Q&A, I think once a month. So be ready for it. Leave your comments, subscribe, and until next time.